It's like Casper.
Yeah, exactly.
Laura, perhaps you can answer my question.
Okay.
Exercise 7.1. In your answer sheet, you have a revenue of 125,800, but in the exercise, the revenue is 166,450. How did Casper manage that?
Okay, let's have a look here. I'm just getting my file. I'm going to have a look. So it's 7.1, the revenue number.
Yeah, so the answer sheet says in the statement of profit and loss of 125,800.
Okay.
It gives revenue as that. But in your exercise 7.1, the trial balance provided, the revenue is stated as 166,450.
Okay.
Am I missing something?
Okay, so there's a difference between revenue and profit. So I'm just busy pulling up the exercise quickly, and then I can have a look at it. Okay.
And when you do find it, you have
okay, so
a link.
I've opened it here. So you're saying the revenue as per the
the actual exercise itself, the document to read says revenue of 166,450, but in your solution, the revenue is 125,800. Is there a typo?
Sorry, I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, because I've got the solution here. Definitely says, yeah, the 125,800. Okay, let me have a look at that.
Because also find a mistake too under other income. Commission received is $800, but in the book or in the actual notes itself or the reference material says $6,800. So it looks like it's missing a 6,000 there.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I know we had issues with this last year. I did put the adapted solutions on, but let me have a look at 7.1 and I'll get back to you then.
All right, and then there's a whole bunch of other things. There. On the same one, there's bank charges of 1.6 and the solution says $600. So a whole bunch of funky things.
Okay, that's sounding, not sounding great. Okay, so that's all sitting in exercise 7.1.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, cool. I'll have a look at that.
But the profit and loss is the same. The net effect of everything is 37,650.
I can double check it.
The answer at the end is the same.
Okay. I just want to know if she gets those numbers though.
Okay, cool. Well, what I'll do is I'll rework 7.1 and then I'll drop something on the group forum saying if it's correct or what the corrections are and why. All right.
You mean on the WhatsApp group?
I'm not on the WhatsApp group, but if I post something to the forum, it comes up as an email and everybody gets it. So that way I can just put more detail in it. I find in the WhatsApp it's quite hard to put all the detail in.
I'm a bit doof on the forum.
So what happens? Hold me just say hello to everybody. I just want to check if we've got 15 people on. I think Shingi's here, so hopefully he's recording it. Welcome to everybody who is on the call. I am my webcam doesn't work, so you are listening to me. We're just busy discussing one of the questions. There seems to be some concerns around 7.1. I've had a quick look, but I think I just would prefer to work through it in detail, and I will let you guys know if there's any issues. So that question about what the forum is, so if you go onto Moodle, you'll see right on your front landing page, if you go up to the top, there's news and announcements. So if you click in there, I haven't, I think Shingi did paste something. Yes, the slides for the contact session, you'll see sitting in that news and announcements. But now what happens is when I post something, it gets posted here and it'll email you all directly. So in your emails that you've got linked, you'll have the email coming up. So I think it's, you know, you shouldn't miss it, and I can put quite a lot of detail in, at least in the email.
Cool.
All right. Anybody else? How are you finding the week?
Too much work.
Too much work. Yeah, look, I think week one is a lot of work. It's about getting that foundation right. So, you know, to try and get everything out the way. It does calm down after this. Week two is a fairly heavy week. Week three is a bit easier. It's the only week where there's 3 assessments. So it is kind of hit the ground running, but hang in there, because all the other weeks have got 2 assessments on them.
Tell me, the quiz on Friday, Laura.
Yes.
Is the focus on theory, the focus on practice? Because working to the examples, they're relatively easy, besides your 7.1.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be asked to define things down to the nth degree, I'm going to get frustrated. What is your focus?
It's a bit of both, but I'm not asking you for the definition. So, for example, for the terminology, I've got, I don't know, 10 terms down the one side, 10 definitions down the other side. You have to match A with the definition of B. Yeah. So that's sort of your definition. I think there's a whole, like 10 items, and there's a drop-down menu, asset, liability, income, expense. And you need to say, is a building an asset, liability, income, or expense? And then you'll obviously tick.
Of course it's there.
I mean an asset.
Liability.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I think the theory stuff's fairly basic, and then very sort of basic calculations. You know, if we sell at this amount, the expenses are this amount, how much is our profit at the end of the day? So I think it's a nice introduction. The guys normally do quite well, but it is sort of a lot of the stuff. If you work through the questions, you should feel quite familiar with it. I'm just thinking. The other thing is, like, we do like a cash flow statement, and I'll say you get a loan. Does this increase? There's a drop-down menu. Is this an increase or decrease in your cash? So I think if you understand the basics, you should find it doable.
Cool. Tell me, we had 1.5 minutes per, or 2 minutes per question. In the previous, what is the time frame now with regards to the questions?
So there's no time frame, so you can take 3 hours.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Russell. Sorry, I just need to quickly ask with the time frame. When I went in to do the quiz, hi, it's Janine. Sorry, Laura.
Hi, Janine.
It said that we can do the quiz, but you have to do it when you've opened it, so you still need to do it the same day.
Yeah. Now, Shingi, I know you're on the call. Can you just confirm if they start and then can they come back to it, or does it save, or must it all be finished in one go? Shingi, I know you're on the call.
Because that's what I understood. You couldn't, and I'm just scared to go into the second and the third one now to go and look what is asking, and then they tell me I need to finish it in the same day.
Exactly. So I know when I preview, I can go in and out the whole time, but I'm not sure if that's because I have any special privileges. I'm just, Shingi?
Because, yeah, I did the first quiz, and, yeah, I just understood that I had to finish it, so.
Okay. Shingi is on the call. Hopefully he will get back online or get back to us, and then we can just confirm that. Yeah, I mean, I think to be safe rather than sorry. Try and finish it in one go, but at least you can take as long as you can in that window of time.
So I don't have a problem with the first quiz of doing that on the same day. It's just that, especially the last one, I think, if you've got a day or two to work on your problem solving, that will help. And that's why I just want to confirm with Singi, that we can go in and out the second and third quiz.
Yes, no, that's fine. Shingi, are you with us yet? No. Okay.
But the first quiz wasn't that bad, hey Laura?
No. So have you finished it? Are you? Okay. It's purposefully quite a nice introduction. So the guys normally do quite well. Sort of kickstart. I found struggle a little bit with the second and the third assessment, but the third one normally pulls everybody through week one. So I'm glad. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be, this is the introduction. Let's get that under our belt before we get any more difficult.
Thank you.
Laura, a quick question. While I was going through some of the exercises, when it comes to knowing which account it is, for example, salaries and wages, on the solutions, they were listed as income. Wouldn't that be an expense because I'm paying the salaries? So that means that there's money coming out of my company. So wouldn't that be a liability? I mean, an expense instead of an income. It says income.
It should be an expense. So just, were you working through the corrected solution?
The solutions, they looked fine in other questions, but other questions just they looked as if they were a bit incorrect. So
question 1.1 and 1.6, there is an adjustment. You'll see it's there where you've got your questions, just one click below. There is an adjusted solution. So
let's check that one.
Yeah, I think it might be that one because that was definitely an income and expense one. But I mean, let's just answer the principle. The principle is salaries, wages, those type of things are definitely expenses.
All right, thank you.
Are there any other principal things that you're concerned about the classification?
I've made notes. I'll let you know as I pick them up while you're going through the line. I'm just going through my notes here.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Jonine, I just went into my quiz because I didn't even think about it because I also assumed, or I also understood that we get to go in and out. And it said when I went back in now, do you want to resume your assessment?
Okay.
So
Great.
it's
So
all
I can
good.
do it with that. Second and third will then be the same. I can go in and out.
Yeah, because I did this yesterday, so I didn't do some of my answers today, and yeah, so it said when I did it today, it's still on there.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so that's good to know. I'll still just triple check if Shingi gets back online, but that's the way I had asked it to be set up because I want this to be as user-friendly as possible. I'm not interested in tricking you or putting you under time pressure. So, we've got to make this work. It's about gaining the knowledge, not about like proving anything else. So, yeah.
So, Laura, there was one question that I did have in the test, but I sort of figured it out and hopefully it was the right answer. But one of the questions, and I don't know if you mind me saying what the question was.
Yeah.
But they said the company B has the following assets and then classify each asset under current and non-current.
Yes.
And that was the only choices there was. And under that was accounts payable to creditors. So it was very hard for me to justify that it's an asset. Because isn't it more like a current liability?
Yeah, so I suppose we were trying to say that it's it could be either one. We were more interested in the current or non-current classification.
Okay, all right. So then I'm all right on that one. It was just a little bit confusing because I went through all the material. I could not understand how we classify that.
No, you're right. So definitely accounts payable is a liability. So maybe there was just, the question wasn't 100% clear then. we were definitely after the current non-current.
Yeah. Because I know the last one in that column was also a liability, and I also just went according to the current and non-current. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks for that. So for everybody else, you'll see that question when you get there. It's the only one that talks about current and non-current. We're after a situation where there's assets and there's liabilities, but we want to know if something is current or non-current. The drop-down menu allows you to choose either one of the two options.
Okay. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Anybody else got any questions?
Talking about Inca toys and that this thing we have to do.
Sorry?
Can I ask about Inca toys?
Yes, please.
Just maybe I'm trying to verify my answer, but essentially what I'm asking for is there's shipping charges that have to be charged to the client. So you essentially are invoicing for goods as well as you're invoicing for that shipping charge. So therefore, if I apply 7% to total sales, am I therefore applying the 7% to the goods sold sales as well as the $600, or only to the goods sold?
No, so nice question. Normally how it works is on the pure selling price. So you're after the revenue, the selling price, excluding those shipping costs.
Because it does, because it says apply 7% to total sales. So total sales implies total sales. So whether you've invoiced the client for goods and you've invoiced them for the recovery of costs for freight, that's what I was thinking. Do you apply the 7% to the total sale or just to the goods sold portion?
Yeah, I suppose I didn't see the shipping cost as part of revenue. It's an expense that you paid on somebody else's behalf and you're going to be reimbursed for it. Yeah. So I didn't see that as pure revenue.
I guess it was just about you invoicing you invoice for that. So in other words, it does increase your sales, be it for goods or be it for services.
I see. I see where you're coming from. So practically, the amount is sitting on your invoice. Which I think why then there's the practical answer and there's the more technically correct answer. And the technically correct answer is it wouldn't be sitting in that revenue number.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. How did you find the rest of that fun in terms of posting it to the T accounts and taking it from there?
There's one or two little trip ups, and one little, I guess it's how you, what you experienced in with accounting and what you would post certain costs to. But there's one or two that I think go either way, but in general, I think it was pretty okay.
Okay, all right. No, that's
obviously try and catch you out with one or two things, but I think it's manageable.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then the answers then pull through, and then you'll see that coming through in the quiz there.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Sinai here. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. I've got a question on the 1 month free lease that she received.
Yes.
So she received it for free, but I see that you've put there lease expense and then lease accrual.
Yes.
Do we recognize that? And then if she's at a year end or the company is at a year end, we then do the journal closing entry to reverse that and recognize then for the 1 month free lease.
Okay, so what you need to think about is, remember we discussed in class that straight lining or smoothing of the lease expense. So think about what the total expense is divided by the number of months, and then you get the expense that we actually allowed to recognize from an accounting point of view. Then the difference.
Sorry?
No, they're saying the difference between that amount and what was paid. So obviously, if nothing was paid, then you've got either an asset or a liability.
Okay.
Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Right. Any more questions on the second assessment?
Laura, it's Laverne here.
Hi.
Laura, I just wanted to, this might be a silly question, I hope it isn't, but for there was a transaction number 4 where you purchased equipment, and you said that you expect the equipment to last for 5 years, which immediately tells me that you want us to do depreciation on that. But there's no residual value given. Will we be able to do it? And also no percentage for the depreciation. So is there another way of calculating it that I may be missing?
Okay, so good points about the residual value. That was intentional, so that if there's no residual value stated, we can assume it to be 0. Okay. So therefore, you're just going to go and depreciate the full amount. So then in class, we talked about a percentage, but think about it the other way around. If I'm saying it's going to last 5 years, it's equivalent to depreciating it over 20% or dividing that amount by 5. So by telling you that we felt the useful life was 5, then I am telling you the depreciation. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Just, I suppose you remember to get your timing right. So if I'm saying I'm giving you 5 years, make sure that you apportion it if it needs to be apportioned within the 5 years.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Okay, I want to just move on to the third assessment, which I'm sure, well, I'd be surprised if someone's had a chance to look at it because I know you've had a lot this week. It is a discussion question. I think the biggest thing is to try and take time to understand what the cause of those cash flow problems are. So I did discuss it in class, but often we find people struggle to identify the cause and then will give me 20 beautiful strategies, but it's not actually curing the problem. So make sure you identify the cause of the cash flow problems and then link your strategies or solutions to that cause. All right. Anybody else got any? Sorry?
So, for example, if she's bought 1,500 rands worth of what is it? Office stuff that she had bought.
The supplies.
Yeah, 1,500 bucks
Yeah.
worth. If she's usually 300 bucks, she's essentially bought five months forward up front, and that's perhaps one of the points that you would allude to. That right?
That's exactly it. So you'd want to now say, if that's a problem, how could she deal with that? So we're not going to now go on a tangent talking about, I don't know, something obscure, getting investors to invest in the company. We're trying to address those causes directly.
Laura, can I take a step back if you don't mind?
Yes.
Exercise 5.2.
Yes.
I'll give you some time to get there.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up. Okay, these are the solutions I'm in. Let me just pull it up in the.
Well, you'll need in this case both the solution as well as the question.
Sorry, it's just taking its time. There we go.
Were you finding that, Russell?
Page 74, chapter 5.
Okay.
Or module 5, I should rather say.
Yeah.
And then I'm referring to Laura's solution.
5.2.
When she's there, 5.2.
Okay.
If you are there, Laura.
Just about. Yeah.
Okay. It says this. No, okay. Besides that, it says Foschini Limited still owes 50,000 Rand for services rendered to them on the 10th of June 2000 XXX.
Yes.
Now, when I read the question, I assumed them to be a debtor. Nobody in their right mind would give out a service rendered without an invoice and then not put them on as a debtor, surely. So I had them as, you have them in the solution as a trade receivable.
Okay.
I apologize. So apologize. You had the service. You had them. You credited services rendered, and you debited accrued income. I would have credited debtors, and I would have debited accrued income. How is it? Yeah. What makes that not a debtor as opposed to a cash account?
Okay, so the journal entry for that would be when you did the services, you would have said debit an asset account. So I'm less worried about what we call it, and credit the revenue. So I think they've called it a slightly different term. For me, it would be important that you understand that it's an asset. And
I do see that. Yeah.
Asset.
Okay, I do see that. I was just concerned that to me it looked like a debtor as opposed to a cash account.
Yeah, they've called it accrued income. I would probably have called that accounts receivable. But I'm happy at least the debit and credits are going the right way in the solution.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else? Okay.
Laura.
Yes.
Sorry, Laura. Back to the first quiz.
Yes.
For that quiz, in terms of preparing for that, do you need to read the first the Monday attachments and the Tuesday attachments? Is that sufficient for all those questions? So basically, that would be the first three, and the other ones, that's chapter 3, 5, 7, and them.
Yeah, so you have to do all of the theory before you attempt the quiz. So get all of the reading, watching the videos behind you, and then the quiz comes after that. Yeah, so it's set up. You do all the theory first, and then you've got the 3 assessments that follow.
Okay. So it's not just part of the theory; it's the full theory.
Yes, you do all of it. Yeah. Yeah, please do all of it, because otherwise you're going to, we've established that you can go in and out of the quiz, but I just think otherwise it just makes your life more difficult.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody else have anything else to ask?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yep, all good my side.
Okay. All right, everyone. So I think hang in there. This is the first, last, and only time that there's an assessment due, also on the Friday. From now, after you've got this Friday hump, everything's due on the Sunday. So you will then, have the weekend, which I realize you're working people and that's necessary. But I think it was just to try and spread the workload a little bit. And I think, as we've established, the quiz really is just to make sure that we've got all the theory behind us before we get stuck into the more difficult stuff. Give me a shout if there's anything. I'm going to just follow up and work through 7.1 now.
Laura?
Yes.
For exercise 1.1, I did establish that there are mistakes in everything. But when I go to those other solutions that you provide on Excel, I only get for exercise 1.6.
Okay. That's weird. Did you see there's 2 tabs?
Just give me a second when I go into it. Oh, that's my bad. Sorry. Because it goes automatically to 1.6. Sorry, that's my bad.
Okay. No, that's cool. All right. Super. Anybody got anything else? All right, guys, thanks for that. I think it was a useful discussion. Hopefully it's covered a lot of useful ground. I think we discussed some important issues, just got them out the way. Hopefully you'll find that easier when you get stuck into your assessments. But if you're struggling with anything, drop me a mail and we can take it from there. I will, if not tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, try and get that 7.1 comments back to you guys. All right, great. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Laura.
Laura.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sunay?
Russell. Can you hear me?
Sorry, man. Yeah, I can, yeah. While you're on the line still, you said that's, I'm just, I don't want to wait for her to give me the answer. So for 7.1, you said that you eventually get the same answer.
Yes. Okay, so your revenue is
Sorry.
Can you see?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the revenue is the same as what they have on the TB is 166,450.
Yeah.
Minus your cost of sales is 69,200.
Okay, I get the 69,200, but where did you get the okay, so in other words, you took the 166,450, you minus the 69,200.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even look at the answers.
Okay. So you ignore the one
at the 7.1 answer sheet.
Okay, so you've sorry.
And then you get your gross profit, which is 97,250.
Yeah.
Okay, and then under other income, you have your commission received.
And did you also get the commission received at 6.8 as opposed to $800?
Yes, 6,800.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Just mistakes in that side.
Yeah. Where are you now?
Okay.
And you get then you get your net gross income of 104,050. Less your expenses.
Sorry, 104?
050.
Yeah, less expenses of?
Okay, then all of that add together is 66,400.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get your profit,
Net profit
of 37650.
Okay. Well, I see somebody that corrected it somewhere along the line. Okay, because I see that 37650 tallies up.
Yes, that tallies.
Okay, cool.
So if you use the correct numbers or the incorrect numbers, it basically comes to the same answer.
Yeah. I haven't got that far yet, so I just stopped there. When I saw the inconsistency, I thought, no, what's going on here now? Okay.
Yeah, so I also looked at that, and when it didn't make sense, I just thought to myself, no way, it's not going to break my head. I need to go on. Yeah.
Well, the problem is,
and
I only got to the
point. The other one that you were the accrued income one.
Die praat vir my nou. Okay.
I'm talking to you, Russell.
Okay, terug. Module 5.
Yes.
I don't think it's a biggie. I just think it's a small mistake on her side. I'll get to it now. Just question 5.2.
Yeah, that one, 900.
And let me just get to it, please. Okay, so question exercise 5.2 says this company, Foskini Limited, still owes us 50,000 Rand for services rendered to them on the 10th of June 2000 and whatever it may be. And we had to do a general journal entry for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I credited, I debited credited losses. But
of how much? What was your amount?
I'm getting confused. So I apologize. Sorry. It's 50,000 Rand. So services rendered, I didn't see as being the accounts to be credited. I saw in the account to be credited. That is the difference I saw there.
Sorry, you saw which account to be credited?
Okay, so because Foschini owes you 50,000 Rand, right?
Yeah.
I saw them as a debtor, not as a conventional sale, a cash sale. Okay.
Okay, so you are saying what's your debit leg, what's your credit leg?
Okay, so I would definitely, in that case, I would. When did the June? I would credit losses.
Sorry, I'm feeling like a lurker here in the background. Can I jump in, Russell?
Yeah, who's that?
It's Laura.
Hi, Laura.
I remained on the line because I think I'm the host, and if I have to be the last one to. Sorry.
You know the hawker, you're a stalker.
Yeah. So I was working in the background here.
Stalkers, Russell, we call them researchers.
Sorry. I was very impressed with your explanations today, so I wasn't going to jump in there. But,
and I cannot hear properly.
Russell, maybe I didn't explain that properly. So let's just take a step back. You've done the work, but you haven't got the income for it yet. So you need to raise a credit for the income, and the debit is the debtor. So we have to say debit, a debtor, credit, an income account. So we want to debit an asset account because in the future you're going to get that money in, but we've already recognized the income. So that's that whole funny accrual principle. We're recognizing the revenue, but we haven't actually got any of the income in yet. So that's why I'm happy with the credit leg of that journal entry, the services rendered.
What's this?
Because that's an income.
Oh, no.
But the debit, I feel it's a funny name. I would rather that should possibly say debtors.
Or accounts receivable.
Oh, accounts receivable, yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as I think
that's fine.
The credit must stay as income.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I get that. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
It makes sense to me now. As long as you agree with me, I'm happy.
No, absolutely. So the way you read that, we're still waiting to receive the money. So we have to have some sort of debit or asset.
I would have put them in the books as a debtor.
Exactly. That would be the way to do it. Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's not data date. It's not.
Can I jump in as well? It's in Bulgaria, yeah. Okay. Can I just confirm, Laura?
Yes.
When do you then bring the accrued income?
Okay, so accrued income is when you have received the money but not done the services.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be you get the money in, you debiting bank, but you haven't done anything yet. You would then credit a liability accrued income.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe here we were gonna say you debit accrued income and then credit service rendered.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to read that again. 5.2. Let me just pull it up here because my understanding is from the reading of it, they've done the services. Yeah. So the services have been rendered. That's why I want the credits to go to the income statement for the services because we've done the work.
That's correct.
Yeah, the service rendered would go to the income statement.
Yes.
And then the accrued income might be going to the balance sheet.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying I would prefer if that solution said debtors or receivables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then to answer what I think was maybe your question is, when would it be accrued income? It would be accrued income if you received the money. So the opposite of this, if you'd received the money but hadn't done the work yet, then you'd have debit, bank, credit, accrued income.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Laura, can I ask you one more question? You lurker.
Yeah, sure.
On page 72, it says, sort of halfway in the page, it says increase or decrease is a heading or subheading.
Yeah.
To increase or decrease an existing provision for credit losses, the same two accounts will always be involved, namely credit losses debit and provision for credit losses credit, and it's to increase it, and then provision for credit losses debit and credit losses credit to decrease it. By implication, is that saying if those two accounts aren't in place already, if you've not made provision for credit losses, you do something different?
Yeah, so how it works is normally you provide beforehand, and then so when the debtor starts, like he's going into like 150 days, you might provide for him, and then at a later stage when it's actually impaired, then you would fully write it off. Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you haven't made provision for it, because this by default says here that to increase or decrease an existing provision for credit losses. Does that situation change if you have not made provision for credit losses already?
Okay, so if you've never provided for it and straight away you want to write the debtor off, you can write it off directly to the income statement. So in which case then you would just say, credit your debtor, debit your income statement. So you can bypass the provision.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
Because let's what normally happens, you would go along and you'd say, I think this debtor is going to be bad. I'll raise the expense now. I'll say debit the expense, credit the provision. When he actually goes bad, you'll then use the provision and you'll say debit that provision, you're using it, so now it's going away, credit the debtor. Does that make sense? Does everyone follow that? So I'll say it again. When you think someone's going to go bad, you raise a provision, debit P&L, credit a provision. When they actually go bad and you want to write them off now, you then use that provision. So you say debit the provision, credit the debtor. But let's say something goes, a guy who's always been a good payer, suddenly his warehouse burns down and he's lost, and you just straight away you're going to write off your debt. You're not even going to worry about providing for it. Straight away you would then say debit income statement, credit the debtor. So normally we go via a provision account because we think something's bad, but we're not really 100% certain yet. There's also like the legal rules about prescription and so on and so forth, where we don't normally write debtors off unless we're 100% certain that we're not going to get anything out of them. So
you credit the debtor and you debit the income statement. What do you debit actually in the income statement itself? What account? It's
an expense line, so it's bad debts written off.
Okay, bad debts. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
In our exercises that we are doing, they're referring to it as credit losses.
Yeah. Is credit loss a bad debt?
Same thing.
Same thing. Oh, okay. I get a bit lost. I must put the link. I must confess. So credit loss is a bad debt.
Yes.
Somebody that had credit and now you lost him.
Okay. I understand a bad debtor or bad debt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that is it. Like I suppose I use receivables, debtors interchangeably, whereas if you're not, when you're coming to grips with it, a lot of these terms you know, some of them are specific and some are interchangeable.
Yeah, it is just that. I think when you haven't done accounting for 15 years and suddenly you get assaulted with all these terms, it's like overload. But it's cool. I'm getting there.
Yeah, cool. No, that sounds like, I think it's, you know, looking through the bigger picture, which is why I tried to make the quiz something an income or expense, not getting stuck into, you know, what we necessarily call it.
Oh, okay, cool. It's a very exciting topic and a very exciting unit, by the way. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, I hope so. Fortunately, we can't get into the sexy stuff until we've got the basics done. So, yeah, we've got to slog through this week, and then it does get a little bit more interesting. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay, no magic.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much for lurking on.
For the last time.
Sorry, Samantha. Yeah. Do we have time for 15 minutes?
Sorry?
Can I ask, do we still have time?
Yeah, go for it. That's fine, yeah.
Okay, good. On the same note with these credit losses, I wanted to find out about the last exercise. I think it's 7.3 or 7.5. Sorry, I'm just scrolling there. I struggled to get to, is it 7 sorry, I'm just checking here. So in terms of provision for credit losses, and the exercise then directs you to come up with a percentage credit loss that has to be applied for the end of the financial period. So, you know, from there, what I did is I obviously worked backwards. So I looked at the trade receivables, looked at that percentage, looked what the original provision for credit loss was, and worked backwards. But I couldn't get to the $50 or rands that was in the test, well, in the exercise, and I found that it was just no matter what I did, I couldn't do it. So do you mind if we just have a quick squiz at it?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up. I mean, what you did sounds right. You'll take your closing balance of your receivable, times it by that 5%, and then any movement between your opening balance and your closing balance goes to the income statement.
Yeah, so when I look at it, okay, while you're opening it up, what I saw was that it started at 300. This is it started at 300 and it was 5% of 5,200, and so my number comes to 40, but I think in the answer it comes to 50. Yeah. Did anybody else struggle with that?
Was it 7 point what? 7.5 what?
7.5.
Yeah, what is it?
Number?
7.5.
Exercise 7.5. Module 7.5.
Yes, also struggled with it.
Okay, I'm just pulling it up. 5200 times 5.05. So we want the division of 260. And our opening balance is 300. They say it's 50.
Yeah, and my number comes to 40, and that's what I was concerned about.
Yeah, my number also comes to 40 when I've just done it.
Yeah, we also spoke about it. Mine also gets to 40.
Okay, because that has implications further on down the line also when they then use the number 250 versus our number that's 260. So, you know, I just want to say it makes it quite difficult because for myself, I spend at least another half an hour interrogating where could I have gone wrong on this. And so it was an interesting one. Because the implication, as I say, it's not single-fold. It's not only that you get your adjustment wrong, but then you get your P&L wrong, and then you get your assets wrong. And so it messes up your whole calculation.
Yeah, no, my apologies. I got these solutions straight from Juta. You know, if you guys do come across these sort of things, that's why I already have the Excel spreadsheet from last time going where we picked up errors. If there are more, you know, just let me know and I must, you know, update it. So I made a note of this one. I just want to quickly go down here. Yeah, because I see they have 250 sitting in the balance sheet as well.
Yeah, and then there was also so as I say, so that has further implications. I think in that same one, I can remember there was also
318.
Another error in that's something that I wasn't sure about. It had to do with 220 rand. It
was 38.
Somebody else pick that up.
Yeah. Sorry, Samantha, I lost you at the end there.
I don't know. Sorry, yeah, somebody was talking. Not to worry. Not to worry. I'll take it later.
But yeah, so I think I also get to 260 being the value which my closing provision for credit losses should be.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
No. I think that's it from my side.
Okay. All right. Great. Can I log off now and then cancel the call?
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.